Hey guys, it's Crystal Lemore Lucier here, also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Crystal Lemore. This is Realtor Life, and guys, we're in for a treat. We have one of my favorite people, Delinda Crampton, here today. Hi, Delinda.
Hello, guys.
So Delinda is a fellow Buffini-ite. I don't know what Buffiniite. Um, Big advocate of Buffini and so excited. So she works with Berkshire Hathaway in the Las Vegas Valley and Henderson. Did I get that right?
Yep, Henderson and Las Vegas.
Amazing. Amazing. For anyone who does not know about that, that's a big area. Obviously, it's more than just the Las Vegas Strip. Um, and yeah, just so happy to have you here with Delinda.
Yeah. And believe it or not, we don't live in the casinos.
Amazing. That's very fun. We actually met. Delinda is such a delight. I'm very excited that you get to hear from her today because so back in 2018, I had been with Buffini for like only about 5 years. And I was going to Vegas. And I thought, what a great opportunity. I was going for a conference, and I'm like, let's see if I can meet some of my fellow people because it's so fun. And I reached out to kind of a bunch, and people were just like, oh, like you don't have a referral for me? Like, I'm good. Like, I'm busy. And then comes Delinda, who's like, yes, let's have a drink. Let's say hello. And it was just I just felt so welcome in your city and welcome in your day. And it was just like, it will always stay with me. And I really
Because
appreciate
you
it.
were welcome.
Yep. Yep. And then we
Yeah,
were at the Hard Rock. We were talking about that before we recorded that the Hard Rock is going through some cool changes. Actually, you know what? Let's start there. Why don't,
yeah,
I mean, for people that know, Vegas is always changing, but what were you just telling me about the Hard Rock?
right. So the Hard Rock has had a couple of different moves. First, it used to be off strip on Paradise, about like a mile off strip. And then they moved on strip, and now they bought the Mirage Casino, and they're building this ginormous in front of the casino a guitar, and then there's going to be hotel rooms in the guitar. I'm guessing those might be the premium price point rooms. We'll
Yes.
see, because they're
Yeah.
also keeping the Mirage Casino rooms as well. So that's super
Very
fun. You
cool.
could go stay the night in the guitar itself.
That is so cool. I mean, I feel like I may have to sell a kidney to get in there, but that's okay. I have
Yep.
two.
And
It's
so
fine.
far, they're a little over halfway up the guitar. And
Okay.
the thing is huge. Like once they add the stem, I
Yeah.
can't even fathom how tall that thing's going to be.
Oh, that's fun. I remember I was my husband and I were in Miami. And they have the Guitar Hotel. So it's not a Hard Rock, but it is. But they weren't able because of zoning to put the stem of the neck of the guitar into the air.
Oh,
So it kind of just ends at the top of the guitar, and then at night they put lights.
oh, that's smart.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool, but
That's a
I
good
think
workaround. Yeah.
it is a good work for us. As a
But
realtor,
during
we
the
get
day, it
that.
looks a little funny, like a chopped
It
off
it
guitar.
it kind of, yeah, but I think they work with it. Um, and no, we're so excited to see that. So, Delinda,
Yes, ma'am.
you have been a realtor for many moons. How long have you been in real estate?
Over 22 years now.
Amazing, amazing, and always in Las Vegas?
Always Vegas, always
Vegas,
the same
Henderson.
company. I've had
Mhm.
no reason to move, and they're the market
Fantastic,
leader here anyway. So it's nice being with the best
fantastic.
of the best companies.
And 22 years, that's a lot of ups and downs in the real estate market.
Oh, yes, I am on my third cycle of,
Yep.
and they're done that. But because I've been through all these cycles, I get best advice my clients.
Yes.
Like in a downward cycle, the last thing you want to do is chase the market down.
Yeah.
And I saw and experienced that the first time around. So now I know to get my clients ahead of that.
Yes. Yes. And I find, I know we've talked about this before, on this podcast, but even just with colleagues, I find like the people who got in to real estate, like just in COVID, are really kind of struggling because all they knew was just like fast paced, barely get a sign up and you're dealing with a lineup.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
and now that it is going back into a normal market, it's like that experience you have. And I'm very fortunate to have some too. I've been in for 15 years, but that experience actually helps you navigate, right? And I love what you said, like just that you to help you guide your clients through it because they're all going through it for the first
Oh
time
yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Amazing.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Amazing.
And I tell you that year coming out of COVID was insane.
Yes.
I worked 7 a.m. till 9, 10 o'clock every day for an entire year. I had no life.
Yep.
Of course, was a great financial year, but I said I never want to go back to that again because it just wasn't worth it.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Then
yeah,
all of a sudden it was like, oh, so they didn't, clients didn't even have to physically be there. So it was just us working like 24/7. Because when you
yeah,
got home, it's not like your phone stopped ringing.
yeah. Had a lot of super happy clients though.
Yes. Yes,
But
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
especially when you win the multiple offer situation and get them the house. And
Yes,
yeah,
those were, yeah, that was always fun. I found it really tough because we work with buyers and sellers. I'm sure you do too.
yeah.
And I found like by the time people were getting the house, it was like, does it have a roof? Does it have a door? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
After like the
Well, and
13th
now
or
you've got so many people that settled back then just to get into a house
yes,
and they got a great rate, so they don't love their house, but they kind of feel stuck there until
yes.
rates come down further.
Yep.
So there's just such a tremendous amount of pent up demand right now.
Yeah.
And I think once we get below the 6% mark, the market's just going to explode. And so there's so many people just like waiting to buy until rates go down. But right now is when they can negotiate the really great deals because,
100%.
you know, there's less competition. And then once you get more
Yeah.
competition, there's less negotiating power.
Yeah. And I think, and for anyone, our Canadian people listening, it's the same thing here too, right? Like our rates have come down. Like I think the 5-year fixed rate is kind of sitting around four or something, like four.
Ooh, nice rate.
It's good. Yeah, see that's the added guys, that's the reaction we want when we say that to you.
Yeah, you guys have a killer rate. Take advantage of it. Go
Um,
buy a house with Crystal.
yeah, thank you. Um, but I think the thing is like regardless of the rate, I think Buffini said, like Brian was saying in one of his last sessions, that like when you're waiting for that rate, it's like what is that worth? Like what is the amount that you think you're saving and what is your life like today and how long will it be like that?
Right.
Right? So it's so interesting. I think in the spring, like we're looking as at a very busy spring, I think across the board for you guys too.
That's expected, right?
And that I mean no crystal ball, but
No, no
lots of
crystal ball. They're guessing, they're saying, but it
yeah,
really depends on rates for
yep,
us.
yep, for sure. Now, 22 years ago, you got into real estate. What got you
Yep.
into real estate? That's my favorite question because we all
Yeah.
have such cool stories to get here, right?
Right. Most of us have previous career lives.
Yeah,
And I feel so fortunate because I feel like I fell into it. I had had a 12-year career in TV news, even had gotten a master's degree in it. And I enjoyed the business, but it wasn't my passion. Like I would see these reporters come into the morning meeting and they ate it, they breathed it, they slept it. And if I missed the 11 o'clock news that night, like, okay, I missed it kind of
yeah,
thing. And then I saw what was happening in our real estate market and how it was really starting to take off. And I was newly married at the time and said to my husband that I wanted to do some investing. And he's like, well, if you want to do that, why don't you get your license so you can keep the commission? And so I'm like, oh, okay, good idea. So
yeah,
off I trucked to real
absolutely.
estate school. And then I got to thinking about halfway through school of like, maybe I want to make this my career. And
Yeah,
someday when I had kids, it would give me the flexibility to like go to the T-ball games and the school performances, but yet replace my TV news income.
yeah,
And little did I realize I was falling into my passion.
yeah,
It just really fits how I'm wired. I'm competitive. I love to get my clients the best deal. I'm
yeah,
a team builder, and so that makes me very relationship related.
yeah.
Um, so and it's and I've got a little bit of ADHD, so the variety to every day helps as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Company.
you can
It's
relate. Yeah.
that's really cool though. And so you basically you went to school and then when you started, did you find it because you had had the previous career in TV news, were you able to translate any of those skills or any of those networks into your new career?
Yeah. So, like when I was out interviewing people, I was meeting different people every day. And so I felt like it enabled me to be able to talk to and relate to anyone.
Nice.
So that's where I've really, seen the transition. And, with not media, but videos being so
Yep.
popular nowadays,
Yes.
I'm very comfortable doing videos and in front of the camera. And
Yep.
I'm not one of those that like I redo it 20 times. Usually it's one take and I'm done kind
Yep.
of thing.
Yep. I remember when I first got into real estate, someone like we were having one of the new agent trainings and the objections for video, they're like, someone's like, well, what if I don't like how I look or how I sound? And the teacher was like, I have some news for you. That is how you look. And that is how
Yeah.
you sound. And if you don't like it, I mean, own it
It's you.
because everyone you've been talking to for your whole life has seen you that way and heard you that way, and you're just gonna have to get over it. And I thought it was so funny because I was just like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter how many takes you do, that's you. Like that's
Right.
you need to get over it. This is what you're bringing to the table. That's really cool though. I love that you had that experience. Because I do find like we're in a technology base, like even being able to do this, we're in a technology based society. So I find when people are really struggling, to do videos or to embrace that, it can be tough. And there's been whole training sessions on that, right?
Probably. I know there's lots of social media classes and whatnot out there. Absolutely.
Yes. And I think that there's also that like analysis paralysis that happens where
Oh
it's like,
yeah.
how much can you learn before you just go and do it?
Yeah. And especially like those that are perfectionists, that is really hard for them to make that first step to move forward. And then
Yeah,
that's the person probably that's going to be retaking it 20 times too.
for sure. For sure. I mean, I think, and as I said, like before we started, even for the format of this podcast, I'm just like, we're just gonna go and make it authentic. And if we stumble on a word or if we sneeze, we're human beings, it's fine. Um, because I think I don't know, I think it's more relatable sometimes.
Yeah, it's better to be real for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so you have quite a few cool designations, and one of them we share, but you do a lot of luxury homes. Is that like in your area?
Yeah, like right now, I've got a 2.7 million listing up in West Summerlin, extremely desirable area. And it's got the pocket doors for the indoor outdoor living. It's got the full strip and valley views. And yeah, I've already got my second showing happening tomorrow. Just had a big open house, just went on the market in the past week. So
Love that.
yeah, that's
Those
just
are
like
fun.
one example of what you can get here in Vegas.
That is so cool. And do you find like so when you're having because you're kind of in a cool like you don't have to worry about the weather, I'm guessing. Is it just beautiful every day? Or is that a myth?
It's yeah, like right now, it is we're in November. I don't know, when someone's gonna be watching this. Normally we're by November, we're in like the 60s, 70s.
Okay,
Today's a high of 78. Like we've been
nice.
anywhere from like 76 to 82 for the last month or so. October is usually the 70s. Like October, November, to me, that's our ideal time of the year.
Yeah.
Had an outdoor wedding here in October, and I did not even have a rain backup plan if it had rained.
Nice.
Like I
Okay,
just
that's
knew it
awesome.
was going to be gorgeous. So
That's very cool. I do
yeah,
remember the first time I ever went to Vegas. I went in February for my 30th birthday, and the people there could tell that we were from Canada, specifically because we were wearing flip-flops and some summer clothes, and we were just like
yeah. I
embracing the
was going to say
sun.
you were wearing shorts. You're probably the person that could go to California and swim in that freezing ocean. Um,
Oh,
yeah, that's
maybe,
really cold. So
maybe.
something you didn't know about me is I lived in Alaska for about a year and a half.
What?
And I do
That's
remember when it
cool.
hit 50 degrees, we were pulling out the shorts.
I think you get climatized, right?
You
That's the
do. You
thing.
do.
That is cool. When did you live in Alaska?
Back when I was getting my master's, I went up there to do a thesis project back in 1994. And then NBC hired me up there to be the evening news producer. And so that newscast got broadcast throughout the entire state. So first,
Wow.
I went up and did a documentary, and that got broadcast throughout the entire state. and then I got hired there.
Oh, that's awesome. What was the
Yeah,
documentary
it
about?
was fun. It was about the natives who were making successful transitions from the bush village into the city
Okay.
because, like, they were told, oh, come to the city, go to this street. And then they would get sucked in on that street into like drugs and prostitution, alcoholism. And
Oh
like
no.
they had no idea what they were getting themselves into.
Yeah.
And at first, I was going to go and do one on the problems of alcoholism and stuff in the bush villages. But apparently, so much negative PR had been done on that that I was told they'll never let you in.
Okay.
So instead, we focused on three different women, one who had written the first dictionary of her language,
Wow.
another one who was the head of her native corporation, and
Okay.
then we had a junior high girl as well. So I kind of got like three different age groups and
Yeah.
just how the story of how did they transition successfully to the from the bush village into the city.
That's
So and it
amazing.
was very well received.
And what a way to
Fun
celebrate
shoot.
women. Yeah, that's really and I mean especially when facing adversity. I'm a huge documentary fan because I think it's just it opens up your eyes to a whole other thing that you wouldn't necessarily know about, right?
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And the
Um,
coolest experience during that is I got to go to a potlatch at a native tribe, and those aren't open to the public. So
what is
that
a
was super cool
potlatch?
that I got invited in. I got to film it.
What is that? What is a
So
potlatch?
it's like a native, this was so long ago, but it's a native ritual and they have special meals and
Ooh.
um, yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's really cool.
yeah,
Um, and that's actually that's amazing. I I find like that's one of my favorite parts about traveling anywhere. It's just learning about the people and the culture and like what is the day to day like. Because traveling for vacation is it's nice and we need to recharge, obviously,
right.
but going all over the world just and seeing how other people live, right? It's a big deal.
Yeah. No, I love going and experiencing other cultures and yes. Okay, I'm looking up potlatch, a ceremonial feast and gift giving ceremony of indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest. It was used
Okay.
to celebrate important events like marriages, births, et cetera, et cetera.
That's really cool. And then do you get to keep in touch with those people or like how's communication? Like are they able?
Yeah. So
I know nothing about it. That's
yeah. So the ones that I featured, no, unfortunately, I have not. There was a university student there who I did team up with in doing this documentary, and I did stay in touch with her for
oh,
quite some
that's
time.
really cool. That is really cool. And I think it like I didn't know any of that. That's amazing. It's really what the thing with real estate, I mean, I know like entrepreneurs are listening too, but the thing with any career, as you go, you kind of put everything in your toolkit, right? Because I'm sure there are things like you had your interviews, but I'm sure there are also things that you picked up along the way that you're able to help people with that make it a unique experience with you.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's
I
very
think,
cool.
I was just sitting here thinking another thing from the TV days is like when you're doing journalism stories, there's a saying, KISS, keep it short and simple.
Yeah.
And so I think that probably one of the things I can do a really good job of with clients is simplifying things and how I explain things with the home buying or home sale process
Yes,
that,
absolutely.
they can understand it.
That is such a good point. And I think that is one of the complaints that we hear about across the board is that sometimes if you're newer or if you don't realize you have to keep it simple, the more you
Hmm.
work in something, you forget that other people don't. Right. So when you're talking about the MLS system, do you remember Joe Nigo? Years
Yep.
ago, he was like, he lost a listing. And one of the reasons he lost it is that he forgot he had to explain things. And
Right. I
they're
remember
like,
that
no,
story.
right? And they're like, oh, well, he's gonna put our stuff on this multiple listing service. And Joe's
He's
like,
like, yeah, the MLS.
but he
Yeah.
never
But
said
and
it.
we have this like realtor lingo too that we use, and we have to remember like clients don't know what that means.
Yeah,
I'd
right?
explain.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing. No, but I love that. Keep it simple. So that's a great takeaway. Um, when you transitioned and like you had your passion. How long did it take you to actually get like going? Because I know they
Yeah,
say like with realtors, it can be, well, with business they say 5 years. With realtors, it's like
right.
figure it out.
You got to get going right away. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember like it took me 3 months to get my first closing. And a couple of months in, literally, I was fighting back the tears in the office, talking to the manager, going, I'm doing everything. I'm working these super long 10, 12 hour days every day, and it's just not happening. And I was
yeah,
just getting frustrated. But I actually got my first couple of clients door knocking.
nice.
I only went door knocking twice in my whole career, and I think I got a listing both times. But I was like sitting floor time, which for those that don't know, floor time's like very passive. You're waiting for people to call into the office looking for a
Yeah,
realtor, having a question on a house. I tried farming, and for those that don't know, farming's where you just like mail to neighborhoods.
yeah,
But I probably didn't stick with that long enough. And then a year into the business, I found the coaching company that both Crystal and I use, Buffini and Company, and they train you all in how to build your business working by referral. And yes, we love Brian Buffini
love,
and
love, love.
the company, and all our coaches are
Yeah,
fabulous.
yeah,
So although like once I got past that first 6 months, then it was like the floodgates opened, and the key is consistency. And yeah, I got like rising star my second year in the business and whatnot. And I came in at a great time too. I came in 2003 when the market was really starting to take off.
yeah.
But it's all about, pick your lane, find, there's so many different ways to approach this business. There's people that love to go after the expireds or they're for sale by owners. I prefer the relational way with
Yes,
my sphere, with my current and past clients. So, pick your lane, and then you just got to be consistent over
yes,
time. And even when you're busy with the deals, when business picks up, never stop, never, always keep your oar in the water. With your lead generation, because
yeah,
otherwise you're going to have peaks and valleys. And um, yeah, peaks and valleys are no fun. So if you stay consistent, you won't have to go through that. And then eventually you really do reach, like you've heard the book, The Tipping Point, you do reach a tipping point.
yes,
And I don't remember how long ago it was they reached the tipping point. It was probably over 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. And it's where like I never worry about like when's that next referral coming in, where's that next client coming from, because it just becomes a very steady thing.
for sure. Yeah, and I think especially in a time when so many realtors are struggling, and it can be really easy to try and take the fast road. And that fast, what I mean by the fast road is like someone's like, hey, buy these leads, or hey, like the way that we do it with referrals and lead generation, it's not sexy. It, right?
Mm-mm.
It's just
No,
foundational like work, and you just keep
yeah,
it up, and like you said, consistency. But
right.
I remember one of my coaches said to me, because I think I was like, I don't know if I've been in three different cities, so my story is a bit different, but um I was potentially going to be taking on this like lead generation thing. And he said, it costs you 6 times more to get a new client than it does to just keep fostering that relationship with
So
someone you
true.
already know.
So true. Yep.
Right. And so
Yep.
hopefully like the people listening realize like, yeah, call your database, because if you're sitting there going, oh, like I don't have any business, can you tell me honestly that you've called every single person you know? Like every
Yeah.
single person? Have they heard from you this month? Because if not,
Yeah.
get on the phone.
I think it's key to like call the people who know and like or love you, would
Yeah.
be thrilled to refer you, but maybe you haven't talked to them while you're just not top of mind, you
Yes.
know? And so it's the consistency of staying out there in front of them. And
100%.
I've had people tell me, "Oh my gosh, Delinda, you're such an amazing marketer. You're so good at marketing." I don't think that it's that. I think it's that what I've done so long and consistently over the years
Yeah.
that it just makes it seem like it, because you're always present. Like so many people would use the same realtor again, but the realtor didn't stay in touch and they don't remember their name or who they were. And I
Yes.
said, my clients are never going to forget my name, because
100%.
we're doing client events. I'm sending out videos. I'm sending out our newsletter,
Yes.
stopping by with gifts, sending personal notes,
Yeah.
on and on and on.
I love that. I love that so much. What would you say is kind of the most fun client party you've had?
Ooh, I would say our 20th anniversary one was a whole lot of fun. So
Ooh,
I rented out the Italian American Club. I
okay.
brought in a live performer and we
Nice.
had an open bar for the first hour. And then we had a really nice buffet dinner. We had a photo spot. I also had a spot where people could go do a video testimonial or written one and they would get tickets for a raffle drawing. And
Very
then I
cool.
also had prizes for like my longest term client, my client who had done the most deals with me.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
but it was a beautiful party, really nice, super fun. The clients absolutely loved it. And then my what was really nice, 20 years in, I'm like, okay, I've supported a lot of people over the last 20 years, business owners that I use and help
Yeah.
build their business. And so they sponsored um,
Oh, that's
my
cool.
party as well. And so I was able to offset the majority of what was a very, more expensive client event
Yeah.
because of that. So
That's
I
a
think
great idea.
it was like $10 or $12,000 party, and I think I offset all but like $2,000 of it with the
Nice.
sponsors. So
Bus-
yeah,
Business thinking too. So you got to
yeah,
celebrate, you got to really love on your clients, and you got
yeah.
to, I mean, and even if they paid, they were also like
Oh,
visible
they
at
didn't
the party,
pay.
right?
Oh, no, the vendors did, but the
Sorry, yeah,
clients
the
didn't.
vendors.
Yeah,
So I mean the
yeah,
business people. But like as you're supporting, like they're helping sponsor, but then they're also
yep,
getting exposure to all of these people that are already in like the best mood ever because
yeah.
they're happy to be there. Oh, that's
So
cool.
something else fun. Oftentimes every year we'll do like a big blockbuster movie. So one year we
Okay.
did The Incredibles, and I dressed up as Mrs. Incredible, and my
Of course
son,
you
who
did.
was yes, of course, and my son, who was younger at the time, dressed up as Dash. And so when we did the door prizes, he literally would dash up into the theater seats to deliver the door prizes.
Oh, I love that. That is
Yeah,
so cool. I love that so much. Now, your kids are a bit older now. They're in
yeah,
high
yep.
school,
High
almost done
school,
high
10th and
school.
12th grade. So we're in the middle of college applications.
That's exciting. Very
Yes.
cool. So, yeah, I'm sure lots of focus. Do you find that like as far as like having our kids are kind of the same ages, do you find because of the real estate, like you're able to spend more time, but they also kind of have more of an appreciation for what you do than if you just like left the house 9 to 5 every day?
Yeah, my thought has been because I have worked extremely hard and there's days I work really long hours, is that I have shown them what true work ethic looks like.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've set a really good example on that front. Now, the bad example I've set is also I can tend to be a bit of workaholic. And so, I do work a lot of hours. So there's the good and the bad. And I
Yeah,
mean, when you love what you do, you
that's the
don't feel
thing.
like you're working and it makes it hard to turn it off.
Yes. Yep, 100%. I was just gonna say that's like the consequence of loving the career is that it
Right.
doesn't feel like work, so you're not like excited for it to end, but you love your family. You want to be with them too.
Exactly.
So
So
it's
it's this
yeah,
tug of war. You feel pulled in two directions. But I do feel it's super important to like do a job that you love, that you're
yeah,
passionate about, because we spend way too many hours of our lives. And there's way too many people out there that live for Friday. And then
yeah,
Sunday evening, they got a pit in their stomach because now they got to go back to work to a job
yeah,
they don't like.
yeah.
It's just, and I think it's just the fear of change for people.
Yeah. And it's yeah, that's just it. Like and weekends are something that I wouldn't say give up. Obviously there are still weekends, but real estate weekends are different, right? So unless you're like consciously taking it off, you're probably working. But it's true. Like there's so many hours that you give to your job. So you want to make sure that it's something that you can be passionate about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So my day off used to be Friday, and that was for many, many years. And I've got this repeat client that I think we were on about transaction number 6. And
Nice.
when I met with her, she's like, okay, now I know Friday's your day off. And I was like, oh, I got her so well trained.
That's awesome. Very cool. And that's actually a really good point. Like, so with entrepreneurs, we get to kind of have a lot more freedom with the schedule. What made you choose Friday?
I find that the beginning of the week is the busiest, and then it kind of like tapers down as you get through the week. So Friday
Yeah.
just seemed to be my lightest day.
Yeah.
Now in hindsight, I regret that. I wish I'd taken a weekend day off because I had kids at home,
Yeah.
and that's when they were younger and wanted to be playing with mom kind of
Yeah,
thing.
for sure. I at one point I was trying to take Sundays off. I can't
Mhm.
do it consistently. But I think the message doesn't matter, like whatever you choose is very personal. But I think that it's very important that you need the time. You can't just work consistently over and over and over because you will burn out.
You just won't be your best for your clients.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Um, Now as far as so when you got into Buffini, how did you find out about Buffini?
I heard this name Buffini at my office. I heard it
Okay.
over and over, some of the agents that were doing it. And we were Prudential at the time, and I went to the national convention down in Miami Beach, and he was doing one of the breakout sessions. And I'm like, okay, I've heard this guy's name. I'm going to go see what he's all about.
Nice.
And, his working by referral and relationship message just really resonated with me. And so he had an event coming up in Monterey, and I signed up for that. And it
Nice.
was at that then I got into coaching with him.
Yeah. So, so good. I find like, yeah, it sounds so like cheesy, but like life changing is not an exaggeration, right? Like it's such a great community and it's just a whole new way of being able to serve people. Because like growing up, when I thought of real estate, I didn't think that it could be um, so much about just caring for people and being generous and helping. It felt very salesy. And not that I don't think like sales is important. Obviously, we do selling, but that didn't feel, it just didn't click. And then finding out that it could be so much more than that, it's like, okay, wait a second.
So the salesy felt icky, but really it's such a generosity mindset
It
that we have.
is. Oh, it so is. It so is.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward. Are you going in person to the next Bold Predictions on December 3rd?
Hey, it's in my market. I got to be there.
I was gonna say,
So
will we see
actually,
you in the audience? I'm
yeah,
always very excited when we see you.
I know the last one was on my birthday. That was fun. I'm like, great way to celebrate with some of my
We helped
favorite people
sing
around the
online.
country.
I don't know if you were able to hear us all, but we were all
Oh,
singing.
oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, so this one coming up, after the welcome reception, I'm inviting everyone over for dinner at my house.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's
And,
amazing.
and then in January, I'm doing a bus tour after the event, and we're going to go hit some of the hot spots and highlights on the strip.
What a
So
great idea.
yeah, we're
Oh,
gonna go to the Welcome to Vegas sign, the Sphere, the Neon Graveyard, and a honky tonk.
oh, that is very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
it'll be a fun evening.
What's the neon graveyard?
Okay, so the casinos they've imploded over the years.
Yeah.
They're big neon signs um like the Desert Inn and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like those are there, and they're lit up at night too.
What? Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
cool. I've never even
that
heard
cool.
of that. That is
Yeah,
very cool.
so it'll
And
be
what a
fun
great
for
idea.
pictures. Yeah.
What a great idea. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward. We're doing a watch party on the 3rd of December here, for a bunch of agents because I find the bold predictions. So anyone in real estate, if you have a chance, I think you can only watch live. No, anyone can watch live. I think you just have to
Yeah,
register.
anyone can watch live.
Yeah. So it's on December 3rd at 9 a.m. your time, I believe, maybe 10 a.m.
Yep. I think 9 a.m.
Um, yeah, and then 12 p.m. our time in Eastern Standard. But it is really, really good, especially while clients are kind of feeling panicked, to be able to come back with some solid information. That's a little bit more than, well, I hope it gets better.
Right. Right. You've got statistics and whatnot that you can provide.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. And
Yep.
and what I really like with Brian is that he really goes and makes sure that he gives the US customers and clients information, but he also gives Canadian counterparts
Good about
because
that. Yep.
right? And it's really good because it's not just for one group, it's for everyone. Um, I was just going to ask you, oh yes, for Peak. I hear Peak is in Hawaii next year.
It
I have signed
is.
up. I don't know if I'm able to make it happen, but no, Peak used to be in Hawaii. Is that
It's been in Hawaii. It's been in Bermuda. It's been in Ireland. He used to move
it's
it
been in
around every
Ireland?
year. Yeah, just one time.
Okay, that's very cool. That's amazing.
That was the year before I started going, and I read about it
Oh,
in a magazine. And I said to my coach, I'm like, what's this peak? I want to go to this peak thing. And she's
yeah.
like, well, you got to earn it. So I put my
Yep.
nose down to the grind and got nominated for the next year.
I love it. Very cool. Yes, the first time I went to Peak was when they finally opened it and they had the 2 weeks. Actually, I think I ran
Oh,
into you
right.
because you had been on an opposite week from me, but I saw you right in between.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, and then, yeah, and then once you're on the list, you're able to stay on the list, which is really nice. But for anyone's listening, so Peak is just kind of a real estate conference plus. It's just for business leaders, and it really just like fills up your cup and helps you be like the best leader, but also like you dig into you a little bit more.
Yeah. It's more personal growth.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. And your coach is also Coach Tony.
Yes.
So we have the
So
same
we
coach.
love Tony Love.
We do love Tony Love, Tony's Tigers. And what I really like, so even though you're so busy, and even though you have so much going on, you still take time to give back. So thank you for being today. But you also lead a group of Tony's Tigers through different, is it different?
Mastermind Synergy.
Yes, yes. And I
Yep. Our next
haven't,
one's this Friday.
very exciting. I keep putting them on my calendar and then I keep having things that come up, but I will be at one eventually. I will.
Okay.
I'm very
I'll
excited.
hold you to it.
But what's really cool, but I love that you do it, right? So like it's just your love of giving back, and it just shows in every single facet. What kind of inspired you to start helping with the masterminds?
So what inspired me was when I was coached by someone else previously, there was a girl who was coached by them that started up a mastermind group among us. And I just thought that was fabulous. So then when I got with Tony and there wasn't one, I was like, okay, I'm going to start one up.
Yeah.
And like if you were to look at my personality profile, I'm a natural born leader.
Yep.
And so it made it very easy for me just to go lead a group.
100%. And you can see that. You can tell just from talking with you. And I just think that's so good because it's a lonely business, right? And that's why I love being able to connect with fellow Buffini people, with fellow people like Tony's Tigers. Even honestly, for anyone that's listening, even if go into your office more, like it can be really easy just to like hermit with the phone and the computer. And that's not going to fulfill what you need, right? Because we're
Right.
not like we're supposed to be in connection.
Yeah, because relationships are the most important thing in life, truly, when it boils down to it. Like no one
Absolutely.
lays on their deathbed going, "Oh, I wish I'd worked more hours."
No,
No,
they do not.
it's
Do
the
not.
relationship regrets that people have.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've given us so many nuggets in this conversation,
Well,
but if
good.
you were going to do just a couple takeaways for entrepreneurs and realtors listening, just some like key advice that you wish someone had told you years
Yep.
ago, what would you say?
Okay. So first I would say whatever you do, stay at it, be consistent. Like I know I mentioned that earlier.
Yep.
And then I would say too, like a lot of time, oh, don't make the mistake of just telling like your friends and everybody, oh, I'm so busy. Oh, I'm so busy. Because if you're so busy and they think that, the last thing they're going to want to do is burden you with a referral.
Yep.
Like you want to let them know that, hey, if you ever hear of anyone who's in need of whatever it is that you do,
Yeah.
I would love to take great care of them.
Yes.
So it's super important to put the ask out there.
100%. I love that. Absolutely.
Yep. Yep. And then, one of the philosophies, I'm in a group that's called Business Network International, and they're all about giver's gain. Like you give it out in slices and it comes back in loaves. So
Yes.
always just have an open hand, come from a place of generosity,
Yep.
because it will come back to you.
Absolutely. And I think that that is such a great mantra as well for like whether it's with your clients, whether it's with your business networks, with anyone, if you're just constantly trying to support people's businesses without like a direct expectation of like a kind of a quid pro quo, it will always come back. It always comes back. And maybe not even where you think it's coming back from, right? Like you can't really gauge it, but like if you're just like it's like you reap what you sow. You just keep going, and it just works out.
It does. It does.
Very, very
So,
cool.
all right. And I got a question for you now. I
Oh,
know one of your little signature things is this, and I want to hear the story behind this.
oh my goodness. Okay. So, funnily enough, this during COVID was my most frequently asked question. Okay, so number one was, what does this mean? Number two was, what is happening in the world with this market?
Right?
So, if we just go back, I this just is from the game charades. It means yes. I growing up, my family would play charades and like sounds like syllables, all of this. And then if you got it right, it was yes. And somewhere in the last like 25 years, I just started doing it. Like I just was like,
Huh.
it was just back in my world. And it wasn't a big deal. It was just I would have fun with it. And then it just started to be something slowly where I do it in pictures and then I get people to do it with me. Um, and it just became a thing. So then when I was getting ready to move into a new market, I told my coach that I had been at a real estate conference with like thousands of realtors. And this guy came up to me and he said, "Oh, Crystal, ladies, this is Crystal. She's that nose touch realtor I was telling you about." So I tell him, and he's like, "Oh my God, this is it." I'm like, "What are you talking
Yep.
about?"
You're
And he's like, "This
branded.
is it." And he's like, "This is good. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this and we're gonna run with it." And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, he's like, "We're gonna use it for your business." And I
Yeah.
said, "You're crazy. I'm not using my nose touch for my business." And he's like, "No." Anyway, so this is a month later, I had to get my new headshots, got all the shots, and at the very end, I was just like, "Can you just work with me? Like, I'm just gonna do a couple." And he's like, "Okay." So you know such, and he's like he almost was like, "Really?" And I'm like, "It's fine. It's
Who is
fine."
this girl?
I know. I'm like, I'm probably not gonna use it, but it's fine. And then all of a sudden, it's everywhere, and it's so authentically me, and I have so much fun with it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's so
it is,
great.
yeah. So that's where it came from. It was just part of me, and it was someone recognizing me, and my coach going, "Yes." Like this is how we're going to differentiate you in this new market.
Right. Very smart.
But that's yeah, that's the
Yeah.
short
It's
and
fun.
sweet answer.
Yeah. Just like you.
Um,
Fun.
thank you.
Oh,
Delinda, thank you so much for joining us
oh, my
today.
pleasure. Thanks for having me. This has been
If you
really fun.
this is just so great. Guys, if you want to reach out to Delinda, so she is never too busy for your referrals in Las Vegas, Valley, and Henderson. But you can reach out to Delinda. I will put all of her information in the show notes.
Here you
But
can scan this QR code
oh, I like
right
this,
here on
guys.
the
You can
screen.
scan the QR
Whoops.
code.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. And then we will have, is it best to find you on Instagram, email, website? What's the best way other than the QR code?
Oh golly, there's so many ways. I mean, I've got a Facebook, I've got Instagram, I've got my website. You can
Does the
text me.
website
Just
have the Facebook
Google my
and
name,
oh, I
and
like
you'll
that.
like pages of stuff will come up. So I'm very
Google,
easy
here
to
you go.
track
You
down.
can Google Delinda Crampton, and get in touch with her because she is a delight. I am very excited to come and see the new Hard Rock when it's ready.
Yay!
I don't know if I'll be in person in January, but if I am, I would love to be on this bus tour.
Us tour. Yes, it's gonna be so much fun. I'm super excited.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Delinda.
You're so
Guys,
welcome.
thank you. Guys, thank you for joining us. This has been a wonderful, wonderful treat for me and hopefully for you too. My name is Crystal Lemore Lucier, also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor. Crystal Lemore, this is Realtor Life. Yes. And we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.